Fake beer belly, got the mask on. Yo, this about to be good, yo. I know this about to be good. He about to say some ish. There's a reason why he don't want us to see him.
Anyone knowing his identity. He is an Australian Federal Police insider.
Oh, he's an Australian Fed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see why he don't want to be seen. What up, YouTube? It's your girl, TT Chanel. You clicked the title, you read the page. That means it is reaction video time. Now, hope you feeling good. Hope you feeling great. You not feeling good. You not feeling great. You ain't start your day off with a prayer. And you should be ashamed of yourself. Now that that's out the way, subscribe for the vibe. Shout out to the lads. Now, if you don't know, if you haven't watched my most recent video, when I say shout out to the lads, that's a TT Chanel thing. The lads is everybody that subscribes to my channel. Every single body. Even if you're not from Australia, you're a lad. I know what you thinking, TT. That don't make any sense. That's not how it goes. That's how it goes here. That's a me thing. Okay? And my day ones, my lads who've been here for a while, my lads that write me, my lads that tell me what to react to, they understand. They cool with it. They already approved it. So, yeah. Do something. I'm high. Let's get to it.
Bye.
Oh, what are we reacting to? All right, we about to get in Australia's business again. This is basically about the system that almost failed brave police officers. There's something about this title that just sounds very, very interesting. So, sit back, relax. Let's get to it.
And death. They're undercover operatives who work at the very front line of crime fighting. You'd think protecting these officers would be an at-all-costs priority. But when the AFP conducted a high-level investigation into its undercover program, it found major failings that risked compromising operations and lives. Now,
yo, let me say this. If you a cop and you're an undercover cop, quit. Because, like, why would you want to be an undercover cop? I wouldn't want to be undercover nothing. Anything that got the word undercover in it, keep it away from me.
now police insiders are spilling long-held secrets in the hope of ensuring accountability and reform.
Ooh, they spilling the beans.
There's an obvious difficulty organising an interview with someone who spends their life.
Yo, look at the accent. That shit fire. There's a difficulty. How you say it? How you say it, lads? Difficulty. That shit fire.
In the shadows. The person I'm going to meet knows of a world so secretive and so dangerous. Talking about it carries incredible risk. In fact,
okay now. Yo, the other day, my self-conscious was like, yo, TT, you doing these reaction videos to Most Wanted. You doing these reaction videos to some serious you know what I'm saying? This was my conscience speaking to me, right? So it was like, are you a bit concerned? And I said no. I'm gonna be honest with you. One, I keep it very positive. I keep it very respectful. I limit my topics. Like, there are some things that you guys will send me and I'll be like, no, I ain't doing that. Just based off, like, if you guys send me stuff about what's going on with, like, politics, I don't get into politics. Not because I'm concerned about my safety. I just don't got time to open up that door. You know, politics is very difficult. It can get real emotional. Now, as far as my safety goes, I walk by faith, not by sight. So I don't walk by what could happen. I don't walk by, oh, that could happen because of that. Nah, I walk by faith. God, I'm protected. No weapon formed against me shall prosper. So I answered my self-conscious and I said no, because we walk by faith and not by sight. So we're spreading light to topics. We're educating ourselves to topics. So yeah, subscribe for the vibe.
Just getting to this point has required something of a covert operation of our own. Our source has insisted on a secret location and won't be filmed until it's dark. 5 minutes off. He's fearful of talking to me because doing so goes against the orders of the agency he serves. But with extraordinary precautions in place, he is prepared to speak out.
Good to see you.
It might seem like an over-the-top disguise, but the man behind the mask can't risk any.
Yo, I'm screaming. He said it might seem like a over the top disguise. You think he got a little fake beer belly? Got the mask on? Yo, this about to be good, yo. I know this about to be good. He about to say some ish. There's a reason why he don't want us to see him.
Anyone knowing his identity. He is an Australian Federal Police insider.
Oh, he's an Australian Fed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see why he don't want to be seen. Let me tell you something. The feds play dirty everywhere. The feds play dirty in America. The feds play. They just. How do you beat the feds? Yo, you can't even beat the feds. I was thinking that like it's the feds and then what else? Like, all right, the Supreme Court, I guess. But it's like, it's hard to beat the feds, bro. That's why they got a 98. In America, they have a 98 conviction rate. Like, they win 98% of their cases. 98%? I don't understand how these niggas is doing crime, knowing that the feds got a 98%. That'll make me be like, nah, I ain't messing with that.
And for his own protection, he's requested we don't show his face or use his real voice.
Why can't you show your face?
I'm still a serving member of the AFP. If they knew my identity, they would charge me and I'd lose my job.
You'd be charged with leaking to the media.
Absolutely.
So why take the risk?
Because without it, I'm worried people will be killed.
This man is blowing the whistle on.
This gonna be good, lads. Yo, lads. If you watching this right now, right? Stop what you're doing. If you don't want me to know who you are, you can make a fake YouTube. I don't care. But drop a comment right now. You know this about to be good. Yo, you probably like, yo, TT hit this topic on the nail.
On the AFP's elite undercover program. From infiltrating drug cartels to embedding with suspected extremists, covert operatives take on the most dangerous role in our police force.
How vital was the work of these undercovers to keeping Australians safe?
Oh, it's extremely vital. It's protecting the very culture that we all enjoy living. They were deploying offshore to countries from Colombia to Mexico, Dubai, all through America, Europe, Asia. They were deploying to these very dangerous people, trying to stop the crime or the drugs or whatever it was from entering the country in the first place.
But tonight, in a joint investigation with the Sydney Morning Herald and The Age, we can reveal the AFP undercover program has faced major problems, systemic failures that risked the safety of covert agents.
The cutting of resources within the AFP's program, it had enormous impact on the members in there, particularly those who were deploying against very, very high level targets in, foreign countries and against extremely dangerous people domestically.
I've been speaking to a number of AFP insiders with grave concerns about the danger faced by the undercovers. The man on the other end of the phone is a former federal police officer. We've recreated this conversation to protect his identity, but he believes it's time the public learned of just how bad it got for the AFP's secret agents.
I constantly hear all the good news stories from the AFP, but you've got people putting their lives on the line to try to do this type of work, basically thrown to the wolves. I think it's disgusting, particularly when the AFP had known.
When I first started investigating this story, I was sceptical.
Oh my goodness, it is beautiful. Where he at? Drop a comment. That is beautiful.
I learnt that some agents had serious concerns, but felt it unlikely the Australian Federal Police could have so badly mismanaged its undercover program. But then I discovered the existence of a classified inquiry, commissioned by the agency itself. Finished in late 2020, its findings are absolutely scathing, documenting a history of serious failings and ignored calls for reform.
Undercover work is addictive. Some people have described it like a drug addict.
Yo, he came. Undercover work is addictive. He been through this.
Gets hooked on heroin. He has that huge high and he chases it for the rest of his life. And that's what undercover work is. You have a huge
The very
buzz.
nature of being an undercover officer means that
Yo, that makes so much sense. Cause think about it, you undercover, so if they tell you to smoke the dope, you gotta smoke the dope. They tell you to smoke the white girl, you gotta smoke the white. You know what I'm saying? You got. So it's like, It's very educational.
There are only a few people who can talk openly about it. Damien Marrett is one of them.
How deep did you go as an undercover?
Pretty much you were on call 24 hours a day. Assumed
I told you. Didn't I just say he been through this? See?
identities, living in places that were registered in different names, dealing with organised crime units that could drop in at any time of the day or night. So you're pretty much living your whole life making sure you were undercover.
A covert operative for state police deploying in New South Wales and Victoria in the 1990s. Marrett's shocked to learn that decades on, a secret inquiry found the AFP hadn't done all it could to protect its undercovers.
Look, it leaves me feeling a little bit sick because I have spoken to a hell of a lot of undercovers and police members, and I would have hoped that we'd got to a stage after, the change of the century, that things were being put in place.
The alarming accounts are backed up by the classified inquiry into the undercover program, which was conducted by former Assistant Commissioner Frank Prendergast. It found systemic underfunding and mismanagement and warned that operatives risked compromise by using out-of-date and not fit-for-purpose equipment. Police also had to borrow technology from other agencies and deal with critical tech failing during covert deployments.
The instance that you've got to borrow devices from another squad, unit, whatever, there's a serious problem. Are you serious about the undercover unit and its undercover operatives, or aren't you?
One of the most shocking failings Prendergast discovered was a tech bungle that meant the AFP lost track of an operative during a live operation.
Nah, how they gonna lose my son? That's crazy. Son on a whole undercover mission. He probably fighting for his life. He probably like, yo, somebody come get me. No service. Nah.
I was told that the people back listening to what was going on at the meeting were no longer able to see, hear or know what was going on. And those things could occur for long periods of time, from maybe 2 minutes to 2 hours.
The equipment failed.
The equipment failed.
And the undercovers disappeared.
They didn't know where they were and they couldn't hear them.
The tracking of the undercovers failed.
It's very difficult. I can't go into things like that could give away methodology, but the support mechanisms, the fundamentals that should have been in place, that are expected, that are the bare essentials when you're doing that sort of work, simply weren't working effectively.
How on earth could that be allowed to happen?
I have no idea.
There's arguably nothing worse than losing ears and eyes on your undercover. The troubling incident happened in Central America, when undercover tracking technology suddenly stopped working, apparently because of a failure to renew a software subscription.
It's a very scary prospect, and I've been in
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
that situation.
How we 7 minutes in? When we get to like 10 minutes, I'ma stop it, and you gotta get to that part 2. TT, why you keep doing part 1s, part 2s? Listen, lads, I told you sometimes I can't do a straight through video, man. I'm getting old. I be getting sleepy. My back start hurting. You know what I'm saying? I be want to speak to my baby. I be want to get something to eat. So yeah, so we gonna stop it at like 10, and then we gonna get to that part 2. I might drop both of them today though. So yay.
Situation where we haven't been able to use devices for certain reasons, and we haven't had cover for an hour away. And it is the scariest thing, because if something does go wrong, who's going to help you?
You're on your own.
You're on your own.
For an undercover cop to do their work safely, they rely on extensive background checks to ensure criminal targets don't know each other. But the Prendergast inquiry found that this wasn't being properly done, posing a real risk to covert agents that their cover might be blown.
I mean, how bad was it getting?
Well, I think it got to the point where people, the same operative, may have been deploying on 2 separate jobs under 2 different names with links between those jobs.
It sounds an obvious question, but that could really expose them.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the consequence of that?
Well, depending on the target, but serious injury or death isn't out of the picture.
Serious injury or death. That should sound crazy.
But as you're about to see, some of our supposedly most covert cops were being put in very overt positions.
You should not be doing undercover work in the community that you live and work in.
The ultimate masters of deception.
Well, that's common sense. Like, why would I go undercover in the hood that I'm from? I mean, that's just common sense. How you gonna pretend to be somebody else in the hood you from? They gonna be like, Jake, shut up. We know that's you. Talking about you, Jordan.
Undercover cops are used to hiding in plain sight. Their job is to infiltrate the most dangerous criminal gangs in the world, securing evidence straight from the source.
It was exceptionally high stakes. The targets that they were deploying against were the top level, high as you can get. Now, you combine that with just the general nature of undercover work, and it was incredibly, incredibly dangerous.
Ooh, it's getting good. Subscribe for the vibe. Get at part 2. We cooking. Drop that comment.